Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of this new series, Space News. Today is February 13th, 2021, and we have a lot to cover. Starting with 3 Mars missions arriving at the Red Planet. Then we'll talk about some Starship updates, exciting news involving NASA's Artemis Gateway and SpaceX's Falcon Heavy. Then we'll talk about some launches we saw last week and all the launches coming up over the next 7 days. Welcome to Space Nerds, and let's get started.
And liftoff.
The first of the previously mentioned Mars missions is the HOPE probe from the United Arab Emirates. On February 9th, the historic moment happened when the HOPE probe fired up its 4 Delta IV engines to perform its Mars insertion burn. The UAE's HOPE probe was launched atop an H-2A rocket on July 19th, 2020.
H2A ロケット42号機は2020年1月20日午前6時
The second spacecraft to enter Martian orbit this week was China's Tianwen-1 probe. As you can see here, we got some awesome footage of the Tianwen-1 commencing its circularization burn. For those who don't recall, the Tianwen-1 was launched atop a Long March 5 on July 23, 2020. And finally, on February 18, 2021, Perseverance will land on Mars. Perseverance is the United States' next generation rover. This rover's landing sequence, known as the 7 Minutes of Terror, will be live streamed. Go ahead and check that out on NASA's YouTube channel. For those of you who don't remember, Perseverance was launched atop an Atlas V by ULA.
And liftoff. As the countdown to Mars continues, the perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the Red Planet.
Now let's go down to Boca Chica for some Starship updates. Over at the launch and testing site, Starship SN-10 conducted a cryoproof test, which is where they fill up the vehicle with cryogenic nitrogen, hold the pressure for about 2 hours, and then detank. In addition, Starship SN-10 received its 3 Raptor engines ahead of its high-altitude flight test. Over at the build site, SN-11's nose cone was brought over into the high bay to be stacked with SN-11's tank section. This almost complete SN-11. In addition, work went on at the orbital launch pad, and the cleanup operations began after SN-10's rough landing. If you don't recall, here it is. Here we have an awesome view of the 3 Raptor engines that SN-10 crashed with. Now over to Brendan's diagram of the week. As you can see all the way on the left, SN-7.2 test tank has received 2 cryoproof tests, but does not seem to be done yet. SN-10 is out at Pad A and has conducted 1 cryoproof test. What we are waiting for now is 1 static fire, and hopefully then we can see its high altitude flight test. SN-15, 16, 17, and 18 also have some more work to do, but are getting along quite nicely. You can see the progress that has been done to booster number 1, and you can see that the first section of booster number 2 has been spotted. Now in other exciting news, NASA has selected SpaceX's Falcon Heavy to deliver the first 2 segments of NASA's Artemis Lunar Gateway. Now time to talk about some of the launches we saw last week. Unfortunately, there was only 1 launch last week. It was Iran's maiden flight of their Sol-Jannah rocket. This maiden flight was intended to be suborbital and went much better than its previous, which had a rapid, unscheduled disassembly during flight. Now let's talk about some rocket launches we'll see over the next 7 days, which I'm happy to say are plentiful. The first launch we'll see this week is Starlink 19 on February 14th at 11:21 Eastern Standard Time. This is a pretty customary launch, but we'll cover it anyway. For those of you who don't know, Starlink is a constellation of satellites aimed to provide global low-latency internet. This mission will launch from Slick 40 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. This will be the 6th flight of this particular booster, and of course they'll be trying to recover this booster again, 633 kilometers downrange on, of course, I Still Love You drone ship. The payload fairings on this rocket have not been determined to be new or used yet. However, they will be attempting to recover both of them on Go Mystery and Go Mischief, which are positioned about 700 kilometers downrange. The next mission this week is Progress 16, launching atop a Soyuz 2.1A rocket. This mission is designed to carry cargo, supplies, food, and science experiments to the International Space Station. The Soyuz rocket is the most reliable rocket in history, so I have full confidence this mission will go without a hitch. The third launch this week is yet another Starlink launch. Starlink 17 is slated to launch on February 17th at 12:55 a.m. Eastern Time. On February 20th at 12:36 p.m. Eastern Time, we have yet another mission to the International Space Station, this time launching atop Northrop Grumman's Antares rocket. Just like the Soyuz mission we mentioned earlier, this rocket and this mission is designed to take cargo, supplies, food, and science experiments to the International Space Station. And with that, that wraps up this week's space news. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, and if you want to get this news as up to date as possible, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you get notified as soon as this video comes up. On your screen now, you should see a few things. On your left, you should see 2 videos. One video is my most recent upload, the other is chosen for you by YouTube's recommendation algorithm. On your right, there's an icon. If you click that icon, that'll give you the option to subscribe to my channel. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching this first episode, and I'll see you next week.